it's Theresa from Theresa's Reviews, and today we're making rolled sugar cookies. This comes out of the joy of cooking. I have been baking my way through this recipe book since we started staying home. Everything from bread to German cake and everything in between, from the necessities to the absolute delicious treats that your family just has to have at the end of the day. This is a massive book. It's over 1,000 pages, and it has not only the recipes that you need to become a better home cook, but it also has just interesting facts about ingredients, so you can start to build your kitchen up and have ingredients that you need to have on hand at all times. So I highly recommend, if you're getting into cooking, to check out this book. Whatever your age is, this is like the absolute how-to on getting started in your kitchen. So today we're going to do the traditional sugar cookie recipe. We're going to add in some Jolly Ranchers stained glass parts, because when I think of Christmas, I think of my mom's stained glass homemade ornaments that she would make over the holidays. They would be personalized with our names. She made her stained glass in our basement. It's just a fond memory that I have of a tradition from my home growing up. So that's why we're going to add in these delicious stained glass windows to some of our cookies. I also have meringue powder. This is what you can use to make royal icing instead of the recipe in the recipe book, because it has raw eggs. So we're going to try this out. It is from Wilton. I try a lot of Wilton products, so this is one that I'm trying out for the first time to see how it works. So what we're going to do is take the dough that I refrigerated overnight. I made this with the recipe. I have now let it sit out for a little bit of time so that it's not quite as hard, but if you do that for too long, it won't actually cut out. All right, so I'm gonna take these and I am going to sprinkle powdered sugar all over the surface that we're going to be rolling. This serves the same purpose as using flour, but it's going to taste a lot better. That way the dough isn't going to stick to the cookie cutters. It's not going to stick to the surface either. And I've lined my surface with wax paper so that it's not going to stick, and so I have more space to work with. All right, so I'm sprinkling the powdered sugar. I'm also going to sprinkle that onto the cookie cutters themselves. And then I am going to keep the powdered sugar nearby in case I need it. All right, next we're going to take the sugar cookie dough, which we have divided into thirds, and we're gonna roll it out right over the powdered sugar. Hopefully it has not cooled too much. So we're going to try to roll it out till it's about 1/8 of an inch. We've got lots of powdered sugar to keep it from sticking. Now the fun part, we're going to start cutting out the cookie pieces. We're going to cut out all sorts of sizes and shapes. We're going to put them on the cookie trays, and we're going to remember to get some that can have stained glass inside. So we've learned from doing the sugar cookies once and having it not work out that well. We learned a couple tips. What did you learn that you could share?
One, don't roll it too thin. For our first try, we rolled it too thin, and when we tried picking it up, it wouldn't really get like, it would all fall apart really.
We also learned a little bit about the heat of the dough, and if you're working with your hands a lot and touching it to pick it up, it can warm up and it makes it a little harder. So to make sure to use the rolling pins and tools that we have to try to get it up and moved. Ooh, that one is so pretty. I love it. Perfect. We crushed some delicious Jolly Ranchers and we're adding them to the inside of the cookies so that these can cook in the oven. We're going to put the entire tray into the refrigerator to cool first. And our final thing that we're going to do before we put the cookies into the refrigerator is line them up on the dough and cut out the very last cookies that we have. And then we'll put them in the refrigerator for like 20 minutes, and then we get to bake them and we get to see how they turned out. recommend lining up your cookie cutters before cutting them out because it just helps you see what you're going to end up with. Good job, you used every last bit of our dough. Can you get it out yourself? Mm-hmm. Good girl. We have so many beautiful Christmas trees in this one. I can't wait to see how they all turn out.
I think that we can do either star or a
These are going to look amazing with icing. The icing, we can add colors, we can make it extra sweet. All right, so next up I have 2 different crafts that I'm going to prepare. So while my kids are off playing video games, once they are done, I can pull them away from that with something hands-on and fun. So I'm making orange garlands. These are going to dry and they can help blot them, and then they love sewing, so we've got some big craft needles that they can help do that with. And then in the bowl next to me, I have pine cones. And when you gather pine cones, it's really important that you clean them. So I have them soaking. I'm gonna soak them for a few hours. Don't want spiders or bugs getting in your house from the crafts that you're doing. So make sure to soak them in vinegar, dish soap, and to scrub them also, because you wanna get anything that's on there off of them before you start to craft with them. And then when you're slicing oranges for a garland, you want to slice them about 1/8 of an inch thick, and that way they're going to dry really well in the oven. And then you'll cook them really low, about 250 for a couple of hours. If a piece is too thick, you can set it to the side as a snack for the kids, and that way it doesn't get wasted.
We decided to make homemade orange juice with the leftover pieces of orange, and it was delicious.
Sometimes when you're cutting an orange, it's just inevitable that some of the parts are going to get to be a little bit too big. And we have the cookies in the oven, so in between doing this, I'm going to be checking on the cookies and making sure that they're coming out good, because it's not just all about the time, it's also about making sure that they look right. And if they start to look like they're cooked too much, that's the time to take them out. You don't want to overdo it and just wait until that timer goes off. So I'm gonna go and check on them and see how they're coming along.
So the cookies took about 12 minutes. They are nice and pretty well cooked, but not overcooked. They're not browning. Sugar cookies should look just about like this. They don't really start to get a golden color. They really stay more light. And our stained glass ones turned out really good too. I was really happy with the way that those ones ended up looking. And we're ready to make the icing. So I'm using the meringue powder and I'm mixing that with water, just like the directions say. It takes the place of the raw egg. Now this still contains eggs, I believe I saw in the ingredients, so it's not egg-free, but it is safer. The recipe for the icing uses lots of powdered sugar. If you like my containers that are labeled like this, I'll make sure to leave the link for you. And then finally, we add a splash of lemon juice for flavor. For the icing, we want 2 different consistencies. One will be thicker and it will outline each cookie. And then when we fill it, we can make a smoother icing that is more filled with like water or lemon juice, whichever one that you prefer. And that one you can then use a skewer, a toothpick, whatever you have on hand to just spread it out, and it's so smooth. Now, if you're going to add 2 colors, you want to start with the first one and let it dry before adding in the second one. That way they don't mix and they end up looking really nice when you put them together.
Thanks for checking out our Christmas vlog for day 5. These are the delicious cookies that we just baked. They're fantastic looking. I can't wait to try one. Keep coming back for more cooking videos, more videos about what we're up to this December. I'm going to be sharing products that I'm actually trying out at home, like this meringue powder, which worked really, really well. So I'm going to share a link that you can get it from in the description of the video below. Like and subscribe. Bye. Oh, this is delicious. Make sure to stick around. Click subscribe. I'd love to hear some comments, and I'll feature some comments in a future video.